A couple of hours ago, um, right after I made my last video, I noticed that I was getting a phone call. Not a phone call, it was one that you get with Messenger. And it was a video call. And it was my cousin from Austria. Now he and I, we talk maybe twice a year. I really like my cousin. I've always thought he was a cool guy. Always got along with him. He's older than I am. I didn't see a lot of him when I was a kid, but I liked him. You know how people sometimes strike you a certain way. And I got along with my cousin Wolfgang from Austria, from Vienna. Now he was, it's funny, my mother, let's just say she wasn't the nicest person, okay? She loved her kids, all that, but she wasn't the nicest person. She wasn't well loved by all the family. There were some who did not like her. And I many times, as some of you may know, did not get along with her. So this cousin, Wolfgang, is my uncle's son from his first marriage. Okay. He then went on to divorce his first wife and marry my aunt, my mother's sister, which is why my mother didn't particularly like my cousin. She had, the idea that he was from the other woman. Yeah. Anyway, I liked Wolfgang. He got into when my parents came over from Vienna, they came over at the same time as my aunt and uncle did. They had another son, Peter, my cousin. They had a son, Peter, my cousin, who I grew up with. He was maybe a year or two older than I am. I'm not sure. Maybe we're the same age. I'm not sure. But I like Peter too. Anyway. So Wolfgang stayed in Vienna with his mom while my aunt and uncle came here with Peter, with my parents. But at a certain point, Wolfgang got us into some trouble in Vienna, as teenagers do. And to get him out of that trouble, the other wife, the previous wife, his mother, sent him over to be with his dad for a while. So he spent a few years here in Canada, in Quebec, in Montreal. And that's how I got to know him. And that's, the reason why my mother did not like him or trust him, because he got into trouble. And she held that against him his entire life, her entire life. She held it against him. And she mentioned it, and she, it was always there. Wolfgang, brackets, the kid who got into trouble. Never fixed it. He grew up to become a social worker and a really, really nice guy. He is a really nice guy. But she never forgave him for that. Anyway, we talk a couple of times a year, and he really likes using that messenger, and he really likes FaceTiming. I don't, in the past, I didn't like FaceTiming, so I always kept it to audio. We always talked that way, and I realize now that was a mistake. So today, for some reason, I accepted his... No, I didn't accept it. I noticed he was FaceTiming me, and I, for some reason, missed him. I accepted it, but it was gone already. And I called him back. And we had a wonderful conversation. It was lovely. And I so loved seeing him. Maybe I've been softened by things that have happened lately. I don't know. But we had a nice long conversation. It was really sweet. I always find it, well, lately, my first language is German. But I don't have much use for German because I don't speak with anyone in German. And I can speak with my sister in German, or my aunts and my cousins. But, with my sister comes the easiest. But with everyone else, English is just way easier. And for some reason, my cousin, actually, for some reason, he likes to use the English that he learned when he was over here. He likes to keep it up, so he doesn't mind speaking English with me. And I much prefer speaking English with him, especially when it was simply audio. But today, I dropped into German a few times just because I had the words and easier for his wife to understand, because his wife, Hilde, does not understand English very well at all. So, yeah, she gets more of it if someone speaks German. Anyway, we had a great conversation, and it was nice to see him. I haven't seen him since he was here last, a couple of years before my husband died. So it's been a while. Anyway, it was very nice, and I will not reject video calls anymore because they're easier, especially with the language. Now, the only people who phone call anyway are my sister. Everyone else texts. Of course, other people make phone calls, like doctors' offices and things like that. But nobody else does videos for some reason. And now I may encourage it, but I don't encourage communication anyway. I like words. Just text me. I find that people's service is spotty. So you often double up words where you're answering and they're still talking, or I'm still talking and they answer, or whatever. It's never great. Which was always the problem with him and my landline. Oh, it was awful talking to him on the landline. But now with my taking video calls on my phone, much easier. He enjoyed it. His wife enjoyed it. It was wonderful. So nice. So I was able to show him my room, my apartment here. My cats got in. He met all my cats. He met my son, Mimi, and the baby, and it was really cool. I'm sure he really enjoyed it. I did. It was fun.